here. Welcome to BOMISpirit. So we are live today. This is the Aloha Friday live. So Aloha Friday. Hope you guys are having a really great start to your weekend. And for those who are in the States, hope you enjoyed your holiday or day off, however you were treating that day yesterday. Some of you still have today off as well, depending on what you do for a living. But yeah, I hope you guys are having an amazing day. Plus, happy new moon Cancer. Oh, the day is here. This is a nice energy for this weekend compared to where we were at towards the beginning of the week. I can feel that there are definitely a lot of people that are more in like the fun play sort of factor of this new moon, which I think is really nice. And then there are some that are still kind of dealing with the emotional stuff or maybe even some of the shadow stuff that's been coming up. Hi, Melissa, Annie, Melanie. Hey, guys. Forever water baby in my heart. Oh, yeah, we can't forget the water baby days, right? Very grateful for the water baby days, honestly. So much anger going around. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it is Cancer, right? So Cancer is very emotional, to say the least. And being a Cancer rising, I know I'm definitely feeling the emotional stuff. Oh, hold on, let me put that on Do Not Disturb. So for those who are new, Aloha Friday is just cash. It's a casual hangout. We do, excuse me, channel messages and we pull cards as well. I actually felt the need to pull a card preemptively to almost just like, I don't know, bring in the theme of like what we're gonna like dive into today. And I used my elements deck, actually, the power of the elements, which is linked below. By the way, those links are updated for anybody who is wondering. So all the decks that I have been using in the last couple months, including the new ones, are down there now. Happy Cancer season. Yes, and happy birthday to the Cancers. Actually, I know someone whose birthday it is today, and I need to give him a call at some point today. But yes, happy birthday, Cancers. Headed to see Dave Matthews' concert tonight. Oh, that sounds like fun. My emotions are so heavy today. Could barely run errands without wanting to burst into tears. Yeah, I've been right there with you. I had to do some adulting this morning, and I'm sitting in my chair and I'm like, I just want to cry. I just feel like I need a good cry, and I need to be like in my shell. I'm definitely in my Cancer shell today. I definitely feel definitely in my Cancer shell today. I've been angry too. I love your last reading. I've been checking in with myself. Good, 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 good. Neighbor wars. Oh no. That always makes me so nervous, and maybe it's just a little paranoia, I don't know, or from watching too many like true crime shows. Like there was actually a whole show like a whole series dedicated to like neighbor debacles and how people get so carried away that murders and shit happen. I hope no one's ever in that predicament. I have a friend recovering from a heartbreak. Oh, I just thought I'd let you know your recent Scorpio reading. You brought up star flowers. They're not only real, they're native to North America. Oh, okay. Well, thank you for telling me. I'm gonna have to actually like look. Actually, you know what? Let's look that up right now because I'm gonna forget later. And some people might be curious. I know I am curious. Let me put my brightness back up. Star flowers. I mean, it sounded like it could have been a, you know how it is when you channel. It's like, you know how it is when you channel. I don't need to explain. Star flowers. Oh, wow. Okay. Wait a minute. Is there a huge variety of them? Oh, they're pretty. Oh, I like them. Oh my gosh. Here, hold on. I'll show a picture if my phone can like not be pixelated. Here. I don't know if you guys can see. It's like, I know phone to phone. It's just, well, I think it's pretty. I think those are nice. Okay, well, thank you for telling me that. They're also super pretty, yes. Do you guys ever accept tarot decks as gifts? I've been following for years and I've always wanted to give you a New World Tarot. Oh, you're so sweet. I'm actually trying to get rid of a lot of my decks right now, so I appreciate the thought. But I'm really trying to weed out my collection. I've just been in that mode like for weeks now of just getting rid of stuff and getting rid of stuff and getting rid of stuff. I mean, yeah, I'm just in that mode right now. So I actually have like a couple of boxes of decks that I need to figure out what to do with because I feel weird just throwing them away. I feel weird donating them. I feel weird holding on to them. It's just like it's a weird predicament to be in. I did used to do giveaways, but that honestly takes a lot of my bandwidth to like host a giveaway, uh, monitor, organize, keep track of people and addresses, and then packaging and all of that. It's like it's a whole thing for me. Um, so I need to figure out what to do with them. But coming back, so I did pull a card for today, which is like so perfect for this new moon Cancer. It's not even funny. All is well. Let your emotions flow through you. All is well. Go with the flow. Be tranquil. Just surrender. Just be. And go and have fun and all that good stuff too. But everything is okay. My neighbor drives around the block watching my windows. Ew. Ew. I'm so sorry. Cleaning and clearing here too. Auction them for charity. Auction them for charity. Wait, what do you mean? Like, I think I need more elaboration there. Mm. I'm gonna wait for her to respond and then we'll continue on with just doing some messages here. What a calming card. Makes me want to go to the ocean. Oh God, I know the ocean. Oh, I miss the ocean so bad. I could just be in water today. I'd be in my shell in water, just be a total cancer. Like not even a cancer that hangs out on the rocks, like a cancer that's trying to go into the water. Which is kind of interesting when you think about it, because it's like crabs spend a lot of time on rocks, not really in the water, right? Love to clean and clear. I just know like some drag race queens like auction their dresses for charity. That sounds like a whole, not to sound lazy. I hope I don't sound lazy. Oh, I don't really care how I sound. It just sounds like a whole thing to dedicate energy to setting up, to doing. Like, it would be cool to like raise money for charity. Like, I love that idea. I feel like I need a whole person to like handle that for me. I don't have the bandwidth. I don't have the bandwidth right now. Uh, I was in the lake all day yesterday. Glad I'm not the only one. 12 House Cancer, the releasing is crazy. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Some of us are releasing, some of us have already released and are on to better things. But don't forget too with this new moon. So I did do a deep dive on Patreon, which is also on Vimeo now. So for those who aren't aware, and if especially if you're new, the links that I have below, I have a link for Patreon. I have a link to the moon videos, excuse me, the new moon and full moon videos that I do on Patreon. I put them on Vimeo and they are listed as moon readings, and the link is down there. So it'll take you to the page of all of them. Most recent will be at the top. Um, I also have, like, I think I have the extended page too down there. What else? I've got websites, astrology calendar stuff. I just felt the need to explain that. But with this new moon, again, I did a deep dive. I'm not going to do a deep dive here, but just to give you the gist, like, this is a really powerful new moon to cultivate your heart's desire, to manifest, right? To really start considering not just what you want, but like how to go about it. And at the same time, there's a lot of like luck and this feeling of like doors are opening left and right if you're open to it and if you're surrendering to all of that. Now, there is also still some triggering and cleaning house, so to speak, and dealing with unhealed stuff. This could also be really powerful new moon for deep, deep, deep healing, and also making peace with certain relationships and relationship dynamics, especially where there was like power and control and authoritative issues at play, and most likely some mommy daddy stuff in line with that. Um, there is also this need to recognize when to be involved with people and to choose yourself and like walk that balance of independence but really prioritizing heart to heart connections, right? Connections that are healthy and that are emotionally nourishing and all of that. And some of you need to do some boundary setting in relation to that. So that's kind of the gist to take away from this new moon. And I will say, like, sky is the limit as far as what you are planting your seeds for. Words, sorry. Sky is the limit regarding what how you're planting your seeds and what could come of those that seeding. Words are hard today. It might even it could take up to 6 months to see fruits of your labor, whatever it is that you're seeding now, but it doesn't have to take that long. And like I said, doors opening for many people who are willing to do that and willing to do the work. Now, I will say, I think everyone might get a little taste this new moon in the next couple weeks of feeling like recognized or feeling praised or feeling like stuff is going in the right direction or things are taken off in some way, shape, or form, whatever aspects of your life that happens. Now, if you do experience that, just know that a lot of people will be experiencing that, and some people will be getting it in ways where they don't actually, I'm not gonna say deserve it, but where they didn't work for it or almost like didn't earn it. And so if you're not willing to continue to be accountable and like maintain your own sense of integrity, and you're not willing to put in the work, if it's something that requires like maintenance or long-term discipline, it's going to go away. It'll probably peter out, most likely. Okay, that's just how the astrology is at play. One last thing that I thought was really interesting, there's a lot of fixed star activity with this new moon. If you want all the details, again, Patreon or Vimeo, as I mentioned before. But the new moon is tightly conjunct Sirius. And it was like, whoa. It was already a good new moon for manifesting, but now that it's conjunct, when I noticed it was conjunct Sirius, and I mean like tight, it's only like 2 minutes away. Sirius is a really powerful star for creation and for making wishes and manifesting. I could go on and on about Sirius, but Sirius is the brightest star in the sky and is associated with Lionsgate. We talked a little bit about Lionsgate before. Maybe it was just on Patreon, but it almost has a Lionsgate feel. Personally, I feel like Lionsgate has become wonky energetically, so I probably won't even be speaking a lot on Lionsgate, just to be honest with you guys. But if you are looking for that kind of window to utilize for, again, manifestation or creation, whatever word you want to use, cultivation. I like the word cultivation. For cultivation, ooh, maybe that's going to replace creation. Something feels good about that. For whatever it is you're cultivating, this is that new moon for that. Okay. Also, 7/7, this Sunday is a portal day, as you guys already know. And I talked about that in the weekly. Mercury, Vesta, and the moon will be conjunct in Leo on that day. Anything else? I don't think so, as far as the new moon is concerned. Aldebaran's wrapped up in that too, which is a really prominent fixed star. But again, if you want the deep dive, you all know where to go, because I don't want to dominate this whole video with just talking about the new moon and all the details of all those things. Yes. I have some announcements regarding Patreon, but I feel like I'm going to wait till the end to do that. Yeah? Sound good? I think that sounds good. I kind of just want to get into messages for you guys. Do you tap into the eye of the bull and Jupiter aspects? So Aldebaran? That's Aldebaran. I mean, you can if you want to. Anyone can tap into anything if they want to. I don't really understand what you mean as far as like tapping into Aldebaran. Like, I mean, it's there, and like I tune into it as far as like trying to read energy and things of that nature. It's the energy is just there to help and support along the way. With this new moon, I'm just reminded that Cancer is the richest sign statistically. Really? It's an interesting notion. Is it extra good luck? I would say Sirius is more lucky than Aldebaran. Aldebaran is more associated with war, actually, and gains from war for sure. But with it aspecting Jupiter, it can bring this like a little bit of luck in the way where you can earn things without putting in the proper work, which also will make it not last long, which is why it is playing that role in this new moon Cancer. Hi from Mexico. Hi. Hola. I'm having just the hardest time with my life right now. Am I alone? No, you're not alone. You're never alone. No one's ever alone in what they're feeling. It's like if you're having a bad day, most likely there's someone else on the planet having a bad day, and vice versa, and anywhere in between. Libras make up 12% of world billionaires. LOL, here's to hope for my Libra rising. So it's interesting when it comes to that. Okay, I'm gonna talk about this a little bit and then we're gonna move on. So a lot of astrologers will look at very well-known individuals, famous people, world-renowned individuals, to understand how certain placements can have a certain effect, right? But they look at everything. And so if you just base it off the sun sign, again, kind of what I always say about astrology, it's not a full picture, right? I would even say something that's aspecting Venus or Jupiter, and even then it depends on your houses where all that's at. It depends on your ascendant. It depends on what malefics are doing. But if you start looking into different astrology books or what different astrologers have studied in terms of looking at famous people's charts, you can get a better understanding of that. But I think there's a lot of ways, probably infinite ways, honestly, of how wealth can be manifested in your life according to astrology and even not. Like astrology is a guideline, but everything is a free will choice. Like you could have the luckiest chart in the world, but if you don't ever like allow yourself to receive that, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because we decide how we want to live in all of our energy, right? Truth, sun sign doesn't even hugely resonate with me the more I make friends with the ego. She's more of a supporting character. Yeah. Oh, I like that. I like that. 20 minutes late, just saw the notification. It's okay. We really haven't even like started. We've just been chit chattering. Oh yeah, Hurricane Barrel. I keep getting notifications on my phone about Hurricane Barrel. Um, yeah, it's looking pretty bad. I know Jamaica got hit really hard. I don't know how Mexico is holding up because I'm sure they're getting hit by it by now if they haven't already. But I've also been trying to not engage too much with my phone or news or any of that. I need to be contained in my own energy right now. I feel like there's a whole other thing I could say about that. A lot of you know I've been trying to back into doing Island Turtle Talk episodes. I'm trying to go with a slow flow right now, so I can really establish like a solid foundational routine for myself. And so I'm getting back around to it. But I feel like I've spoken on this already, but I have spoken on this when I got back from my trip. Um, I think I went on this whole story time about how it was just so clear to me and even like angered me on some level how people just irresponsibly open these like different realities and portals because of the narratives they're attaching to and they're just regurgitating it everywhere. And I was talking to a friend of mine recently and he definitely sees the same thing, he feels the same thing, and that was coming up for him in his cancer reading, his new in cancer reading. I don't know, you guys know him, Zachary from Divine Phoenix Rising Tarot. Check him out. He's cool. Um, but we were talking about it because it came up for him in the reading. And I was actually wasn't feeling too good. I had a lot of solar stuff going on the last couple of days. And I wasn't feeling good. And I start talking about it. Before I knew it, I was like, I was all worked up on my soapbox. But I understand how tempting it is to get attached to stories. I mean, that's what it is, right? Getting attached to stories and fear mongering and conspiracy theories and all this stuff. And hey, look at all the terrible, awful shit that's happening over here in this corner or that corner, or maybe it's happening. I don't know, but I think it's happening, right? It's like I understand that it's really easy to get caught up in that. And I'm not judging anybody who's there right now because I think we've all been there. But anytime you're feeding stuff like that, you're opening the portal to that reality because you're putting so much of your energy and your belief in it, and then you're going around and spewing it out for everyone else to take in. Now, I'm not saying that we should totally ignore all the bad things that could be happening. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying to live in ignorance. I'm not supporting that. I'm just supporting being a little bit more accountable and responsible with your freaking words. You know what I mean? And to be more accountable to your own energy and what you're feeding, and also what you may be spewing onto someone else who maybe doesn't want to take that shit in, right? There's nothing wrong with having your beliefs, but maybe also be more accountable to even just like focusing more on yourself versus the external so much, right? Some people are really, really far in that spectrum of focusing and attaching to the external to the point where they're completely not even connected to self, right? When if we all just took a little bit more accountability to stay focused on self and we got right with ourselves and what we could actually offer, right, in this world or show up in really positive ways in this world, we wouldn't have so much shit to talk about when it comes to that stuff. Anyway, see, I'm working through some irritation on this topic. I'm just like, what? Just like to spew it out. Oh, I don't watch news and all that stuff. I see some online, but I need to take care of me. Right, exactly. Exactly. And again, I'm not supporting total ignorance. Like, I'm not supporting that. but just be responsible with what you're doing with your energy, right? 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 And I'll be honest with you too. Like, so I told this to my friend, and I get it because we have all been in places where we don't feel great about our own lives, or we don't feel like we're in control of our life, or we don't feel like we're solid, or we're insecure. We all struggle with that. That's just one part of the human condition, right? But sometimes people look to that external stuff and they get attached to it because in some way it's almost like, I don't think it's something that's even conscious thinking, but it like makes them feel more in control if they can talk about it, or if they can hate on it or be negative about it. Instead, it just keeps them from looking at the stuff they need to work on for themselves, you know? Like I said, I'm in a place right now because all this Cancer energy. It's like the wheel card. I was getting this in my daily personal to myself for my journal practice. It was like attaching to the outer, and I'm having the wheel changes constantly. Yes. Oh, thanks for talking on this. I've been frustrated by certain stuff lately, all in this vein as well. Yeah, yeah, and to be honest, like that's also why I don't look at comments as much, because there's always people dropping bombs like that in the comments section. And I had to go into the YouTube app, Studio app recently. And so the way that it's structured for those who don't have a YouTube channel, when you're looking at a certain video, like to edit stuff, the title or whatever, it shows you the thumbnail on top and then the title. And then it has like 3 random comments from the comment section before you go into like doing anything. And so I caught like 3 comments on a video that I needed to do stuff on, and like one of them was about this stuff, and I was just like, just let people do them, right? Just letting people do them. But yeah, I can we all just be more accountable to that shit? Like, can we please, can we be more accountable to that shit and like focus on maintaining ourselves and like dealing with our own shit, so then we can like actually go and come to the table and have really great relationships and great experiences and collaborate and build cool stuff together, cultivate cool stuff together as a community. Like, can we do that? Like, can we do that now? Can we do that? Can we get past the bullshit now? Anyway, like I said, I'm still working through some irritation on that. The most stable part of the Wheel of Fortune is the center. Yes. Spiritual fear mongering is misdirection. Yes. 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 So now that we're 23 minutes in, let's get into some messages, yeah? I mean, I feel like that was a whole message in and of itself, my little soapboxy rant. But all really is well. All really is truly well. It just depends on how you adapt, how you navigate, what you choose to focus on. That's all, honestly, that's what it comes down to. There's always going to be things that are changing. Always. There's always going to be things that are changing. That is the constant of all things that is. It's change. That is the only constant. It's the only constant. You can see change as bad. You can see it as a way for opportunity making, right? I was talking to a friend sometime in the last month or two. I don't know, time is really weird right now. And we're both Scorpios, and we were just talking about that, like how we do love that about change. It can bring in like very unexpected, pleasant things. It's like wiping the slate clean. Like, who doesn't want a clean slate for exciting new stuff, right? Wow, I'm glad you spirit drew me here. Hi, Angela. Glad you make it. Glad you make it. Glad you made it. Perspective is everything. Yes, perspective is everything. And when we resist and we hold on to stuff and we try to ignore stuff, that's when things start to not feel really okay. That's when things can start to feel really chaotic or stressful or anxiety inducing when it doesn't have to. And again, I'm not saying life is all unicorns, rainbows, and butterflies, right? It has its moments, but it's what you decide to do with those moments. You know, look at the bigger picture of things. Oh, my nose is so itchy. But let's go ahead and pull some cards here. The Herbal Astrology deck is calling me. Oh, hold on. I heard star codes. Okay. Star codes. But we're gonna start with herbal astrology. The only constant is there is no constant. Right. Exactly. And I know that we have the hermetic laws around chaos and order. But is there ever really order, or is order just constructive chaos? Right? I feel like chaos is really the only agent. Like, there really is no true order. Like, order to me seems like an illusion. But maybe that's also just what we need to perceive in our reality, in our physical reality, to have that polarity, right? Like, if there's chaos, then there must be order. Like, yeah, honestly, that's what it feels like to me. Like, yes, that law does stand up to physical reality, but there's so much more beyond the physical where that doesn't apply. It's just chaos. I don't know. I'm so like, I'm very attitudinal today. I apologize. I apologize. I'm very sassy today. I will enjoy the replay. Hi, Alejandra. Hello. Love you all. And Clyde. He's been interesting today. So I don't know if he's in his feelings too. He's sleeping on his tree right now. He didn't beg me for food this morning. Like, I woke up and he was just in a tiny little ball, just like next to me, and I was like, "Are you okay?" And I continued to rest. And then by the time I got up and I went to the kitchen, he like didn't follow me. I was like, what is going on with you? So I made him his food and he had a little bit, but then he's just been, I don't know, like, I feel like he's in his feelings or something. Like, are you depressed? What's going on? So he must be in his little shell too. But anyway, any messages or insights for the collective? Fire of the Soul, it talks about chaos theory and how humans have constructed religion as a form of coping with the true chaos of the universe. Oh, that sounds like an interesting read. Good to finally catch you live. 1 a.m. Oh my God, where are you? My brain can't even like comprehend what time zone you're in if it's 1 a.m. for you. Because it's like, oh, I guess it's probably was just like a 12-hour difference. I forgot. I don't know why I thought it was 9 a.m. here. I don't know where I'm at in time right now. We have to believe we can make a difference to function. And there's a whole diatribe I can get into with that too. I'm reining it in because that will take a while. So I'm just like, pulling my energy back on that one. Oh, hey, from Colorado. Ah, you finally got it live. Welcome, welcome. It feels like it's August. Yeah, I don't know where I'm at in time and space right now. I feel like it's 9 a.m. I actually feel like it's October, which is weird. Anyone know when the next Friday the 13th is? I just got, like, Friday the 13th just came up. Maybe it has more to do with the number 13 than anything. Interesting. Any messages or insights for the collective in this present moment? Whoa. Because the other thing that I wanted to talk about, and I was trying to rein it in, what just came out relates to what we already spoke about, but even what I was trying to not speak about. Shisandra with Grace, 29 breaking down to, 29 breaking down to an 11. Jupiter, Venus energy. This is very akin to the Temperance card, but I also always feel the star with this. The swans are really jumping out too. And Bobinsana. Oh, Bobinsana. I wish Bobinsana was easier to get here in the States. So trust with the energy of 8, Moon, and Neptune. So when I work with certain plant medicines, I will, like, if it's something that's new, I'll take time, like months at a time, just to work with that plant medicine. And I worked with Bobinsana a little bit. It's really hard to find here in the States though, but Bobinsana is it's very high vibrational, but it's very gentle at the same time. Like, it really helps you to deal with any like self-love stuff. It really is like a slow surrender into love and peace and acceptance is what Bobinsana helps with. But because it's so high vibrational, it can also help with any higher chakra stuff or your own intuition, psychic abilities, things of that nature. Also, thank you, your own ability to connect to self and also like soul retrieval. It's good for that. Some of you guys might be doing some soul retrieval right now, but that is why that's what's up with Bob and Sana. I just felt the need to give a little educational spiel about it. But is this thank you. Is this not the picture of serenity? Right? With trust and grace. Is this not the picture of serenity? Mm. Serenity comes from full surrender and acceptance of just what is. We've been so trained as humans, and you can argue it's the human condition, and I honestly I kind of go back and forth on this one. Like, I feel like we've been trained to be this way of, you need to have a label for things, you need to have a box for things. There's a right and there's a wrong, and black and white, and maybe that's a result of just being the physical reality, but maybe it's more than that. Maybe it's actually just because I feel like we're going back in time here a little bit. So there may be some like past life stuff, soul retrieval stuff coming up. Oh, I'm getting a lot of channelings now. There's going to be some more acceptance as far as ancient history is concerned and what the truth really is about how we have, I'm not only, I want to say evolved, how we have changed over time as humans, and especially how we connect to each other, how we connect to spirit, how we even connect to nature. Because I'm like trying to like get the right words here. Because something that was just coming through is like, we've had these ideas that humans need labels or humans need a right and a wrong. But I think that's actually just a consequence of modern society that is rooted in a lot of history, a lot of history, a lot of history. It's interesting. I mean, you could argue in ancient history that there was a lot of violence, and it depends on what period of time you're talking about. When we say ancient history, there's a huge spectrum of time there. Are we talking 1,000 years? Are we talking 10,000 years? Are we talking 80,000 years? Are we talking like a couple ice ages ago? You know what I mean? It's like there's a lot to be spoken on with a lot of different changes that have happened over time. So even within the term ancient history, it really depends on where you're going with that. Oh, this is a crazy messages today. Um, there were plenty of times in ancient history where we have evidence and accountings where just by being and just by being connected to nature, we knew how to do a lot of things, right? And somehow in our modern society, we've lost that. I think we all are aware of that. But what has it really created as a consequence? It's created dissonance, right? It's created dissonance. It's created this disconnection from ourselves. I just wanted to do it like that. Disconnection from our truth. And so then disconnection from harmony and balance, right? Disconnection. I'm hearing disruption. It's created disruption. Getting something about the body. Some of you are becoming more aware of your body, maybe even focusing on health, but this is a lot about the word disruption. What has been disrupting the body? I feel like that's like a very cellular level thing. What's been disrupting your body and disrupting your spirit? Yeah, what has been disrupting? What has been disrupting? It's interesting because this is always like temperance to me and a little bit of the star card, which I'm getting really strong Aquarius actually. And I think that was Aquarius's reading. That was Aquarius's reading. So wherever Pluto's transiting in your houses, which would be Aquarius 1 degree. So look to your houses, Aquarius 0 to 5 degrees, whatever's going on in that house, I feel like there is this acknowledgement of disruption, which coming back to this, there's nothing disruptive about this card, right? How are you disrupting the vibration of yourself? How are you disrupting the vibration of your own reality? How are you possibly disrupting the energy around other people based off of what you're deciding to exude or say or act or put out or even embody yourself? How are you contributing to the disruption of all things? Right? Oh, intro. Ooh. Okay, that's taking it a little far. Don't get too caught up in your heads about that. But whatever you're allowing to happen as far as disrupting yourself or your own vibration, that does have an effect on the collective. I feel, the other thing is too, I've been in, I've been really connected to mother, like earth mother energy, like mother archetypal energy, cosmic mother, whatever word you want to call it, since my trip. And I feel like that's part of this too. It's like there's a little bit of anger behind that, the allowance of disruption. You may even recognize how other people are being disruptive to themselves, right? Just allowing for that. And if you're recognizing that, obviously take accountability for yourself and dealing with those situations. But that's what I'm getting. Recognize disruption, how you're allowing it, how you're contributing to it, and make it stop. just choose to not allow it anymore. Just choose to not allow it. How often too, right? How often is inner conflict or feeling stuck or feeling resistant, like how much of that is also just not surrendering and actually creating disruption for yourself because you're not surrendering to some sort of truth, to self, whatever, right? And I'm not saying you just have to like be doormat in life. I'm not saying that, right? But how much are you allowing disruption on your own terms and calling it unfair? Huh. Let's move on. These are intense today. We're going to use the Star Codes Astro Oracle. So recognize how you're contributing to disruption in your own life, in your soul, in your body, all those things. And just decide, just make that decision to not contribute to disruption if that's something you don't want. It's almost like, oh my God, this makes so much sense. So coming full circle. When we resist the natural order of things, of just energy, emotions, what our bodies need, etc., things like that. You guys know what I'm talking about. When we resist those things, that's when we get in those funky energies, and that is disruption, but that's the lens of disruption, when really it's just accept the chaos, right? So it's kind of interesting. Just accept the chaos of the natural order of things, right? This is accepting the chaos, and not accepting that contributes to disruption. It's very interesting. Okay. I almost didn't do an Aloha Friday video today. I'm glad I did. Feels like it's needed. Feels like it's very needed. Oh. Some of you are really focusing on the balance of your life. I can see that. I can feel that. Which is good, right? Because that's you focusing on you. That's focusing on the natural chaos of the order of things versus resisting it. That's you trying to flow with it. That's you trying to navigate it and be aware of it, be accepting of it, not letting it just take you away, right? It's like, think about water. It's like you're not fighting the wave. You're not trying to evade the wave. You're trying to ride the wave. And that's all life is, right? Just ride the wave. feel like we've seen these cards very recently. Transits with climate. I know we've seen that recently. Series with nurture. And then we have third house with communication. The fives are really jumping out, man. 55, 41 breaking down to a 5. And we have two 29s. 29, 29, two 29s there. So synchronicities everywhere. We got two 11s and we have 5, 5, 5. I mean, that's what happens when you do readings on new moons, right? Whew. I feel like this is the epitome of finding the acceptance and your flow of the chaos and not feeding disruption anymore, not enabling disruption anymore. This feels very much like being in the wave, learning how to be in the wave. Some of you are incubating, and if you need to incubate, you need to incubate in order to figure out how to ride the wave. But I feel like this is the epitome of riding the wave here. And then we have series with nurture and third house and communication. I feel like I'm looking at 3 different things here. Almost like some of you, this could actually represent 3 different groups of like what's going on for you guys. But I almost feel like 3 different aspects that are layered on top of each other. Like, how do I say that? Like 3 different things going on at the same time. Right? Some of you are incubating. Some of you are learning to ride the wave. And then with series and nurture, I'm getting cultivation. This is more about the cultivation that we keep encountering, which again, this new moon is really key for that. Oh, and look, I never even noticed that. Look what's in the bouquet. A dark moon with a rainbow ring around it, a new moon energy with a rainbow ring around it. That is crazy. I've never seen that before ever, but it's there. It's totally there. And I know you guys have seen this card before too. Maybe some of y'all knew it was there, maybe not. I don't know. But yes. Cultivation, cultivation, cultivation. Once you get this down, once you clean house on anything that is feeding your lens, your belief, your perception of disruption, which is also your own resistance, your own ignoring and evading certain things, all within yourself, right? It's all about the stuff within yourself. Once you clean house on that and you can actually find this like, oh, I'm here. I am here. I am connected to myself. I'm connected to things. I can feel the flow of things. And I'm just accepting of the chaos of things that are, and I will figure out how to ride the waves of chaos, right? Once you get there, you can actually start to cultivate, right? Ah, hello. Hey, Zachary. Hello, beautiful soul. Then you can actually start cultivating and building things on that foundation, because this is a way of being. But this creates a very solid foundation of navigating anything, anything, right? Some of you could look at this as root work. Maybe some of you are doing a lot of root work. For those who don't know what root work is, it's grounding. Essentially, it's getting very deep in your body. It's working on your root chakra or even your earth star chakra, getting to that place where you can feel like you've worked through your insecurities and your fears, and you can feel very stable and confident within yourself, right? A lot of stuff entangled in that. So again, you might be doing it in a specific way. You might be resonating with all of that. Just depends where you're at and what you're doing, okay? But once you do that, get the legs of the table, so to speak, you can build the rest of the table. You can start putting things on the table, and you can start cultivating from a place that's very true, that's very authentic, that's very relaxed, that's also very full of faith and very full of, honestly, like hope. Serenity. They keep using the word serenity. And then we get here. This is interesting. Third house with communication. Some of you are, this is definitely going to bring up some boundary setting where need be. Some of you are going to start actually getting into skills in relation to like public speaking, writing, maybe some internet stuff, social media stuff, teaching, learning, that sort of deal. Some of you it's that, and others of you, to be honest, it's just having a lot more social energy in your life, where I'm solid in me, I'm solid in what is going on energetically with things, right? I can start cultivating, for me, I can start cultivating my shit, my foundation, and then, oh, you can start bringing in other people, right? So it's like phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 is how this is looking like to me. And some of you, this might be all overlapping at the same time simultaneously. There's something else going on with the third house, though. It's funny, the flowers are reminding me of the star flower that we looked up earlier, like all the blue. There's something else going on there. Hold on. Way more open and vulnerable communication. Thank you. They were bringing me back to Cancer. They're like, what's the main energy? Oh, yeah, Cancer. That's right. That's right. Very vulnerable, very honest communication can result from this, which also, when we can also, words, sorry, when we communicate from that place, it's not just authenticity, it's vulnerability. It's being honest about what you feel. It's being honest about your needs. It's being honest about your intentions. It's being you, but exposing all of you, right? When we do that, that just brings in people who can do that too, but it also will help to bring in opportunities. I'm seeing doors opening on this card too. It can bring in opportunities that are aligned to what it is you're speaking, to what it is that you're putting out there, to what it is that you are asking for, right? Everything's an energetic dance. If you're in that vibration of disruption, resistance, evading, right? Ignoring, etc. If you're in that energy, you're just going to get a bunch of people and a bunch of opportunities that align to disruption. You want this? You want more experiences like this? Then be this. Then be this. Stop feeding disruption and find the flow in the chaos. That's it. I feel so aggro right now. Yeah. All right. We'll pull from one more deck and get a little sippy sip first. All right. Trying to feel out what deck. I do always love the animals, but I'm actually feeling we might need to go tarot on this. God, but I want to do the animals so bad. I do. No, they said don't do the animals. All right, fine. Fine. Using Rider-Waite. Lots of rainbows I'm seeing in these cards, like all the cards. Maybe not all the cards, most of them. I'm seeing the little rainbow effect. Rainbows can be synchronistic for you guys. Now remember, this reading is a check-in of current energy. You can treat it like a weekend reading if you want to, but it's just a collective message that needs to come through in this moment. Okay. Can I get a card for transits, please? I'm seeing the Death card. I don't know if it's going to come out, but I'm seeing it, which makes sense. And of course, I said that, and suddenly I was like, ow. I felt so much energy just went. Okay. Can I get a card for transits? Oh, well. Judgment. Pluto energy, also fire element. I'm not surprised this is coming out here. Judgment can come in a lot of flavors, and for this, I'm really just feeling almost like a call to this like level of integrity that is soul-based. Honestly, this feels like, hey, are you aware of the flow of things, and are you aware of how to be accountable to the needs of your soul, the needs of your body, the needs of your mind, the needs of your health? Like, are you aware of how to actually navigate the chaos? It almost feels like Judgment's coming in here as a way of saying, like, yeah, there are divine laws, and there are just ways that are laws that are rooted in nature of how energy just flows and how things just function. There is a divine law and order to things, right? And it feels like that's just the awareness of it. And some of you may be feeling like, maybe Spirit's really on you at this time, right? But it's this call to say, hey, be aware, be accountable. Some of you are being really called to focus on you, Focus on your foundation, the legs of your table. But it's really coming down to like basic needs. The basic needs of your soul, the basic needs of your mind, the basic needs of your body, of your heart. Like that's what I'm getting. Are you catering to those? Do you even know how to meet those? Okay, meet those. Okay, now that you've met them, go to the next level. What's the next thing that's important for just maintaining your life or maintaining yourself or maintaining your energy, right? It's like almost like get to the root of any feeding of disruption or perceiving or believe or just enabling disruption. I'm going to say enabling. Get to the root of anything that is enabling disruption within and without, like around your reality, and take accountability and deal with it. Is honestly what I'm feeling with that. Okay. Let's look at Ceres. Can I get a card for Ceres, please? Yeah, major cleaning house. If I pulled another card on this, I wouldn't be surprised if the Death card came out. Because it's cleaning house on disruption. Can I get a... Ooh. 8 of Wands. Kind of like that with Ceres. Like I said, with Ceres, with nurture, I feel like this is alluding to cultivation specifically. Ceres is in Capricorn right now. Felt the need to mention that. So just look to where you have, I think Ceres is at like 14 degrees right now, Capricorn. Pretty sure it's at 14 degrees. So just take a look there. I need accountability, buddy. Don't you have one? Anyway. So look to see where that's transiting in your houses. Sirius is playing an important role with this new moon because it is exactly opposing the new moon. So you have the sun, the moon, and Sirius all together in Cancer at 14 degrees, and all of them are opposing Ceres in Capricorn at 14 degrees. So again, if you want the deep dive, because I go deep with the astrology, go look on Patreon or Vimeo, like I mentioned before. But anyway, coming back. So clean house, do what you got to do. Learn to flow with chaos, not enable disruption. And then move here. Move into cultivating with the 8 of Wands. 8 of Wands can indicate travel, messages. It's also a card of downloads to me. Some people look at that as the dating card, but 8 of Wands is unstoppable, inevitable movement. That's how I look at the 8 of Wands. It's Mercury and Sag. You're not going to stop a Sag from moving. You're not going to stop a Sag from doing what they want to do, right? So kind of think of it in that vein. I feel like a lot can happen really fast once you get things in order. So funny, all this talk about order, right? It's really getting yourself calibrated to natural flow of chaos. That sounds, but that's what it is. That's what it is. Get yourself calibrated in order, set, ready, essentially. And whatever you decide to cultivate intentionally can take off. And I mean like take off. Like 8 of Wands, again, it's like a rocket. It is unstoppable. It's going to happen if you do what you got to do here. They're bringing me back to this. They're mentioning Saturn and Pisces, which we already know is playing a huge role right now. And I did a whole Saturn retrograde video, so go ahead and check that out if you haven't seen it yet. I may follow it up with doing the individual signs for Saturn retrograde. I have all the notes. I just haven't decided if I'm actually going to do it or not. But anyway, I'm getting a little bit of that Saturn Pisces energy, because also with this, it is a little bit of a pressure that like, hey, are you really paying attention, right? And are you willing to clean house? Are you willing to clean house? Are you willing to do what you need to do to be accountable to your own freaking soul and matters of your soul? Are you willing to do it? Not always easy. And now I'm seeing the Devil card. Yeah, I'm getting like Death card and Devil card here. Some of you have some really rough habits to break, and some of you, those habits are just not being masterful of your own thoughts. Some of you, that's just what it is. Some of you, it's negative self-talk. Some of you, it's actual addictions, right? So pick your poison here, but definitely getting that. But anyway, once you get a handle on that, things can take off. Now let's go here. I feel lots of stuff. Lots of stuff on the communication card, which is the house of Gemini. We already know we got some stuff going on with Gemini, with Jupiter. Actually, with Jupiter and Saturn, right? We're getting closer and closer to Jupiter and Gemini square Saturn Pisces. Talk to death about that, so I'm not going to go into it here. Tell me about third house. y'all know when I have a reaction like that, it's big. It's just crazy how the cards come out. So remember what I was saying about this, where I was getting a lot of things, right? I was definitely getting like boundary setting and whatever energy you're working from that you learn to work from here, that is what you're going to invite in more, right? You want this, then be this. You want tranquil waters, learn how to have tranquil waters, right? Even if life is throwing you a curveball, learn how to navigate that, adapt to it. I'm not saying you're not going to be human and have moments where you're like, that's very human and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, right? I'm talking about deeper, pervasive patterns that just create disruption unnecessarily, is what I'm speaking to. Anyway, so third house with communication. Once you start to cultivate, you can also start to engage more with people or maybe even bring people in. Well, birds of a feather flock together. I just realized birds are around here too. But they do, and we have the High Priestess and the Hierophant. That is a pair. That's a matchy-matchy pair. The Hierophant to me is the High Priest, so we literally have the High Priest and the High Priestess. I'm getting a little bit of gatekeeping as well, not in a bad way. Not in a bad way. Almost like it's your flock. It's your flock, and there's a level of responsibility with the high priestess and the high priest, right? Because the hierophant, it's actually interesting because this is more etherical matters, and has a little bit more rooting in 3D physical plane stuff. Like this rules institutions and governments and things like that. But also can relate to faith and spirituality. While the high priestess, as you know, is completely all of those things. But this is very much like masculine, feminine coming through by way of the high priest and high priestess. But these are pairs. It doesn't have to be one person. It can be just people who match you in that vein. People who have ethics, people who have values, people who stick to them, people who are accountable, right? People who are accountable, people who will follow through, people who have high integrity, people who are quality people if you're bringing the quality. You see what I'm saying? Quality sees quality. Let me fill out some more stuff there. I am getting big education stuff. I mean, my God, look, out of 4 tarot cards, we have 3 majors. We have Judgment and the High Priest and the High Priestess. 8 of Wands in the middle, but this can also relate to schooling and education just because that is also something the Hierophant represents. But even the High Priestess represents that. The High Priestess is all about hidden knowledge, while the Hierophant is about go and learn some knowledge, right? Come and learn some knowledge. Both mentor energies as well. So again, to bring it back home, whether you are getting more involved with education, mentorship, or this is actually about bringing in matching people with your vibration after you calibrate your vibration, this is a really, really cool outcome. Honestly, it's a really beautiful outcome. Talk about balanced. Because both of these individuals, say what you will about the Hierophant, but both of these individuals are very connected to spirit, and they are very connected to themselves. But I am getting something about gatekeeping. Some of you, as you start to cultivate whatever it is you want to cultivate, you may want to keep it a little protected for a while, especially if it's something like business related. Yeah, I'm hearing cultivating wisdom. Cultivating wisdom. If any of you are starting a business or a project or writing or something, I would really keep it on the DL until it's time. Try your best. They said try, and just tell them try their best. Try your best. Try your best with that. There's something else going on there. Commitments. Let me feel into that. Commitment to your cultivation, commitment to self, but also people who are in the right energy to get into commitments with regarding what it is you're cultivating. Yeah, it feels like there may be some opportunities coming in where, how do I want to say this? What are the right words? Yeah, it's like you're going to be asked to almost like rise to the occasion and commit to something. But it feels like, thank you, that's the word, dedication. That's the word, dedication. To be dedicated. Some of you, this is about being dedicated to your life's work, to whatever a calling is for you. And that could be something really big. That could be something not so big. That could be just being a parent, right? Or just being a teacher, but being dedicated. Yeah. Okay. I think we are complete for the reads today. But it looks like summer most days. My Cancer moon can't wait for daylight so I can go for a swim. I hear you on that one. It was so hot here yesterday. I wanted to swim, but honestly, it was too hot even to swim. It was 104 yesterday, and I'm just like, no. Like, I think I hit my max at, like for swimming, like low 90s, honestly. Anything above that is just, it's way too hot to even be outside of walls. Wow, 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 wow. Yeah, thanks for the reading. You guys are welcome. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know we had a lot to talk about in the first 20 minutes. No to boiling in water. Yeah, I don't even think I could even enjoy putting my head above the water at 104 degrees. And I think I'd be terrified even just to like hang out outside at the pool in that kind of heat. I hear you. It's hot like that here too. Blew my mind and heart. Thank you for this confirmation. You're welcome. Hot on the East Coast too. Great reading today. Thank you so much for the live. You're welcome. Everyone, please enjoy the dark moon. Yes, enjoy the new moon, you guys. It is peaking soon. What time is it? Is that like a couple hours? A couple hours till the peak of it. So I'm gonna close out, and honestly, I'm probably just gonna go focus on the new moon for myself. But I love you guys, and I will talk to you later. And oh, that's right. Patreon announcements. I forgot. I was about to dip out. Hold on a second. Okay. So really quick, some Patreon announcements, and then I'm gonna go. So you guys know how I am. I gotta go with the flow, and so I do make changes a lot. And I have made changes on Patreon, but I'm about to make them again. And so these changes I'm making, just so you guys know, how do I say this? It's going to be a phase. Like we're moving into one phase to go into a next phase. So the changes that I'm making on Patreon over the weekend, there's still going to be 3 tiers. The first tier is still all live chats, new moon and full moon hangouts. The second tier, I'm going to give early access to all the videos that I am posting on YouTube that are not lives on YouTube. So I'm going to be doing more astrology talk videos. I'm going to be doing more collective reads and things like that. And I will be doing sign readings still for a while, probably for the rest of summer. I'll be doing sign readings most likely. So early access to all of those. Okay. And then the third tier, obviously with each tier you go up, you get access to the previous tier for those who don't know how Patreon works. And then for the final tier, there will still be access to all of the part twos for the sign readings. And as I am starting to work myself up to doing astrology seminars and courses and things of that nature, that third tier is going to have access to any of these, like, I don't want to say experimental videos and hangouts, but that's kind of what it is, because I need to find my groove with how I want to do these seminars, right? And so that third tier will have access to anything that I post in relation to that before I officially go into seminar coursework, which will probably come in fall. Okay? So I hope that makes sense. So to reiterate, first tier, new moon, full moons, all the lives. Second tier, early access to all of the videos posted, not lives on YouTube, obviously, because I can't do early access with that. And that includes the sign readings and all the astrology talks and collective readings that I'll be doing. And I will continue to do sign readings for probably the next couple of months. And then the third tier will still have access to all of the part twos for all of the sign readings and any other videos or hangouts that I'm trying to find my groove with how to go about seminars. The third tier will have access to that. And then come fall, I will probably be launching seminar course stuff. Okay? Okay. Third tier is where it's at. Got you. Well, I'm gonna have to get on Patreon. Sounds fun. Excited to see you in your teacher era. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. I'm excited. I'm rolling with it. I'm rolling with it. It feels really good. It feels really good. I feel excited. I do feel excited. I just know Spirit has me doing stuff when Spirit needs me to do stuff, right? So this is just the next chapter, which I am excited for. But that is the lowdown with Patreon, and I will be updating the descriptions this weekend. But I just wanted to give you guys the heads up there. Also, I will be opening up for sessions again. For right now, it's going to be very sparse until I can find my wave, till I can ride the wave, right? According to this reading, anyway. Just using this messages in that way. But I will be available for sessions, and so just check the website for that. I don't think there's anything else. And as far as sessions go, like every month that passes, I may open up more days, or I might change the days for those who also just have really strict schedules. So just know that as well. So just keep checking essentially as I find what works there. I don't think there's anything else. I think that's it. All right, guys, well, I'm going to go. I love you. Take care. Have a great weekend, a great new moon, a great Friday. I feel like it's like, now I was feeling like it's Friday. Now I feel like it's not Friday. Whatever timeline stuff is going on. But I love you guys so much. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I will see you guys later, okay? Take care, guys.